You're watching Machindo's hometown station, HTV1.
Hello everyone, it's Brett Boyd from the Market House, where we have adjusted our hours to serve the community and keep our community and our associates safe. So now Market House is available to you from 9 until 6 every single day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with an exclusive shopping hour for seniors from 9 to 10. And don't forget our tech shopping service as well, 517-234-2020. Market House is here for you.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
From Machindo's news leader, this is HTV1 News at noon.
The Lakeland Correctional Facility has learned that more than half of the 1,411 prisoners who were tested for the novel coronavirus have been infected. Well, good afternoon, Machindo. I'm Scott Pienta. Well, we'll start with the prison, where WTVB says 777 tests came back positive and 602 came back negative, with 32 results still pending as of Saturday night. According to the Hillsdale Daily News, the Michigan Department of Corrections began testing all inmates at the Coldwater facility on Tuesday and finished late Thursday. Now, Corrections spokesperson Chris Gautz says most of the prisoners who tested positive were asymptomatic, which he called very troubling. Lakeland is the first MDOC prison to undergo facility-wide testing and was chosen due to its high number of inmates who are elderly or have chronic care conditions, putting them at a higher risk for severe illness. Now, Gott says that the accounts for about half of the prison's population. The facility-wide testing did not include staff, but 31 Lakeland employees have tested positive so far, including some who have recovered. And any staff members who wish to get tested can do so. The Department of Corrections is now working to separate the positives from the negatives, and some are being transferred closer to major hospitals in Lansing or Ann Arbor. The Cotton Correctional Facility in Jackson will be the next to undergo facility-wide testing. That facility also has seen a major outbreak and also holds a significant number of geriatric prisoners. Lakeland also reported its 11th death due to the COVID-19 on Saturday, the third straight day for the prison to report a fatality due to the virus. So far, 15 Lakeland prisoners are in recovery. The virus is also impacting the Corrections Center of Northwest Ohio as the Bryan Time reports that there are now 19 confirmed coronavirus cases at that facility as of Friday. That's up from just 9 confirmed cases on Wednesday. 16 CCNO inmates have been quarantined in a 48-bed unit, while another 3 have been isolated in a separate 15-bed unit. Now, 4 staff members there have tested positive, including 2 Williams County residents, but 1 is already recovered and 1 is expected to return to work this week. The regional jail's executive director committee voted unanimously on Friday to discontinue admittance of new inmates for the time being, except for violent offenders who pose a public safety risk. The Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections recently put CCNO on a list of facilities that are not allowed to send prisoners to other jails. Executive Director Dennis Sullivan declined to estimate how many inmates are showing symptoms of the virus, but has said that the jail will now focus on further isolation efforts. Local law enforcement agencies will now have to determine where to send nonviolent offenders. As for the latest numbers among the general public, Branch County now stands at 49 positive cases and 2 deaths. Hillsdale County reports 113 positive cases and 14 deaths. Now, Friday afternoon, the Hillsdale County Medical Care Facility announced their passing of another of their residents, this time a female who had been among those to test positive for the coronavirus. Lenawee County has reached 82 positive cases, no deaths, and 30 recoveries. They also report 14 probable cases and 5 recoveries in that category with no deaths. Altogether, Michigan is reporting 8,342 recoveries statewide. Steuben County now reports 31 positives with 1 death, and WLKI says 14 are considered to have recovered so far. Also, officials at Vestal Manufacturing in Angola have reported that a member of their staff who regularly works in the building Building 4 has tested positive. Now, it's unclear who that employee is or where they live, but the company says they're working with the Steuben County Health Department to determine what to do next. In Williams County, there are 27 confirmed positives, 2 probable cases, and 1 death. And over in Fulton County, health officials there report 18 confirmed cases, 1 probable case, and no deaths. Public health officials in Williams County say that the number of positive cases there will continue to increase as in-house testing ramps up at community hospitals and wellness centers. According to the Bryan Times, Health Commissioner Jim Watkins says that the increase should better reflect the actual number of cases rather than community spread, which officials previously noted was already well underway. CHWC CEO Chad Tinkle confirmed to the paper that the hospital received COVID-19 test kits on Wednesday, and while they still prefer to run most of the tests through the University of Toledo, the new kits will be used for urgent needs. Tinkle says that one of the 98 tests the hospital has conducted, 91 were negative, 5 were positive, and 2 are still pending as of Friday. Well, now that Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb has relaxed restrictions on certain non-emergency care, the Herald Republican says Cameron Memorial Hospital is ready to resume those procedures. As of April 20th, hospitals that have sufficient PPE supplies and staff necessary to treat COVID-19 patients were allowed to continue medically necessary procedures, respiratory procedures, and procedures to reduce significant pain or symptoms that make quality of life unacceptable. Cameron President and CEO Connie McHale says her hospital fits that criteria. Starting today, the hospital will reopen outpatient rehab, imaging services, cardiac testing and rehab, and in-lab sleep testing. McCahill says that the decision is inconsistent with the Steuben County's public health information and is being done on collaboration with Indiana public health authorities. Those procedures could be put on hold again if the pandemic surges once again, and the hospital will continually evaluate the situation as it goes on. Williams County engineer Todd Ross said that there's good news and bad news about the pandemic affecting road construction projects. Well, the bad news is some of the next year's projects may have to be reevaluated. And the good news is, well, this year's projects are still on track. Roth told the Bryan Times that there's been a 60% reduction in its travel across the ODOT's District 2, and he expects a big loss in revenue from a gas tax as a result. Now, that's a loss that can't be made up, but license plate revenue will be made up once BMV offices reopen across Ohio. As for this year's road projects, well, Roth carries over funds that will allow those to continue, including resurfacing along parts of County Road G and County Road R through A. $1.7 million project with 80% of that coming from federal funds that have already been secured. A county-funded paving program will also be done as a cost of up to $1.4 million. Roth says that he's hoping revenue and activity will be picking back up by the end of summer. At the same level, District 2 Public Information Officer Rebecca D'Angelo says ODOT crews are out working on small tasks already, and while they do anticipate a loss in gas tax revenue, they don't plan to shut down any projects this year. Last week, we told you about the resolution passed by the Hillsdale City Council claiming that Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has overstepped her bounds with their emergency orders and demanded they be rescinded. Now, a Hillsdale County Commissioner is saying that resolution didn't go far enough. In an interview with the Hillsdale Daily News, District Commissioner Nemerata Carolyn called Whitmer's orders unconstitutional, specifically accusing Whitmer of violating the public's right to peacefully assemble. It should be noted that Carolyn's comments were made more than a week after the so-called Operation Gridlock protest in Lansing, where thousands drove into the state's capital downtown and demonstrated both inside and outside their vehicles with only a handful of arrests. But Carol Ann also said that Whitmer should have included local officials such as herself in discussions about what businesses were and were not considered essential, adding that her belief that a blanket approach does not work, specifically in rural areas like Hillsdale County. As we reported last week, a plan released by Michigan House Republicans included local officials in a pandemic task force that would determine what sectors of the economy are safe to reopen, among other things, mirroring statements that Governor Whitmer had made prior to the most recent stay-at-home extension. The commissioner said instead of government, it should be up to individuals to use common sense and implement CDC guidelines while keeping the economy open. Now, she added that that the Constitution was given to us to be free governing and not to be held by our hair, saying, quote, "Right now, I feel like I'm being held by my hair." Carol Ann said she'd had several conversations with her constituents on the topic and has sent her opinions along to the state legislature. Meanwhile, Michigan's governor is defending her extension of the state's stay-at-home order until May 15th. The Associated Press says Governor Gretchen Whitmer penned an op-ed piece that ran in on Sunday's news on Sunday. Now, she cited 41 new deaths and a total of 3,315 statewide as the motivation behind the extension, saying that while social distancing is working and some restrictions are being lifted, staying at home remains the best weapon to defeat the coronavirus pandemic. Now, Whitmer wrote that every unnecessary trip out of the house and any unnecessary close contact with people could spread the virus. In a statement in the Michigan Senate Republicans' website, the Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey said that he and his colleagues have been pushing for common sense changes to the stay-at-home order for weeks. While Shirkey thanked the governor for the changes, he urged her to collaborate more with the legislature in the future. Well, still ahead, a Fremont man is facing charges for allegedly holding another man captive and beating him in a motel room. And a Delta man faces 20 charges related to child porn. Also, a Bryan woman is accused of shooting and killing her dog. You're watching HTV1 News at noon.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety-packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
Well, the motorcyclist was airlifted to a Fort Wayne hospital after suffering critical injuries in a single vehicle crash. Now, it happened around 5:20 yesterday evening near the corner of Bellefonte Road and Lane 101 Ball Lake in Steuben County. According to eyewitnesses, 20-year-old Leah Fager of Napanee, Indiana, slowed down to avoid hitting another vehicle but lost control on loose gravel. Sheriff's deputies found Fager in the roadway next to her motorcycle. Now, she was not wearing a helmet at the time of the crash, and she may have suffered a head injury. Alcohol is believed to be a factor, and that crash remains under investigation. An apparent medical emergency led to a single vehicle crash accident in Hillsdale County's Jefferson Township last week. It happened on Osseo Road near Beecher Road just after 4 p.m. on Thursday. 42-year-old Stephen Spence of Osseo was traveling southbound when the incident occurred, causing him to cross the center line and hit a tree. Spence was taken to Hillsdale Hospitals for his injuries, though we don't know the extent. Authorities say he was wearing his seatbelt at the time. Now the Hillsdale County Sheriff's Office continues to investigate. Well, this man is facing 4 charges in a beating of another man at a Fremont motel. WLKI, WTVB, and the Herald Republican are all reporting on this story. It happened around 10:15 Thursday night at the Travelers Inn on State Road 120. The Indiana State Police and Steuben County Sheriff's Department were called into the hotel on report of a fight. Now, they found 25-year-old Ryan Hoffman of Auburn, who said that he had been held up against a wall, tied up in a chair, and beaten. Now, Hoffman directed authorities to the room where the beating allegedly took place, and that's where they found 30-year-old Joshua Brauman. Now, Brauman was initially uncooperative, refusing to give his name or talk to officers about any of Hoffman's allegations. Officers took Brauman into custody and got a search warrant for his motel room. During the search, they uncovered evidence of a crime scene that they say confirms Hoffman's story. Brauman was taken to the Steuben County Jail, where he eventually identified himself to the staff. Now, that's when the officials found that he had a full extradition felony warrant out for his arrest in Marion County on an alleged parole violation. Brauman was booked into the custody on 4 charges for the motel incident, and he'll remain in custody pending the hearing on that matter. He'll then be transferred to Marion County on the parole violation. Well, locally, the charges are a level 5 felony criminal confinement, level 6 battery causing injury, class A misdemeanor possession of paraphernalia, and class C of misdemeanor failure to identify oneself to law enforcement. Brauman is expected to be arraigned in magistrate court today. A Fulton County grand jury has indicted a Delta man for child pornography. The Village Reporter says 32-year-old Frederick Northrup is the second was indicted last week on 10 counts of pandering sexually oriented matter involving a minor or impaired person, and 10 additional counts of pandering obscenity involving a minor. Now, aside from the possession of child porn, no details of the alleged crimes were given, but officials say that took place between September 21st and March 17th. No word yet on the preliminary hearing date. A Bryan woman is accused of shooting her dog, leaving it to suffer overnight, then shooting it to death, the next day. According to the Bryan Times, a Williams County grand jury has indicted 72-year-old Shirley Lanham for shooting the animal without just cause on March 21st. Now, that incident was reported by the authorities by a concerned party. Now, Lanham is facing a 5th-degree felony charge and could spend up to 12 months in prison if convicted. She's scheduled to appear for a preliminary hearing in Williams County Common Pleas Court on Friday. A Lenawee County murder suspect who originally waived his right to a preliminary hearing now says, he wants one. The Adrian Daily Telegram says 25-year-old Austin Richardson was back in court last Wednesday as his attorney told Circuit Judge Anna Marie Elzone that his client wants the case remanded back to district court. Now, that motion was mailed in the previous week. Richardson previously waived his right to the district court's hearing back in June of last year. Now, preliminary exam require the prosecution to show that a crime was committed and that the defendant is likely to have committed that crime. Waiving a preliminary exam is not an admission of guilt, but allows the case to move forward in a higher court. Richardson is charged of the shooting death of 27-year-old Christopher Dickerson, whose body was found in a wooded area near Morenci in February of 2019. Investigators say Dickerson died from multiple gunshot wounds about a month before his body was discovered. Another man has been charged with disposing of the gun from the shooting. Judge Anna Zalone scheduled the hearing on the motion to remand for May 13th in order to give the Lenawee County Prosecutor's Office time to respond. Richardson is also a defendant in 2 other cases. one for organized retail fraud and using computers to commit that crime, the other for several charges related to meth manufacturing, delivery, and possession. Pre-trial hearings for those charges have also been scheduled for May 13th. Well, some more news is on the way. The Coldwater Board of Public Utilities is hoping a recent decision will speed up the build-out of their fiber internet service. And a local lawmaker is facing heavy backlash for wearing a face mask with a design of a Confederate flag. We'll be right back after this.
The Saucy Dogs is the name and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Does your vehicle sound like a tractor putting down the road? Then you need to see the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. They will give you a free estimate along with first-class customer service. They custom make any exhaust needed for your vehicle. Stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everyone, it's Brett Boyd from the Market House, where we have adjusted our hours to serve the community and keep our community and our associates safe. So now Market House is available to you from 9 until 6 every single day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with an exclusive shopping hour for seniors from 9 to 10. And don't forget our tech shopping service as well, 517-234-2020. Market House is here for you.
The Coldwater Board of Public Utilities has decided to split up the construction of its fiber internet service among 3 different companies. WTBB says the CBPU Board of Directors hopes to speed up the project with the plan, though IT Director Pat Poole says the coronavirus pandemic hasn't slowed it down at all. Western Telecom, NC Underground, and B&M Ashmund will be all working on the second phase of the build-out at a cost of up to $1.541 million. Once the improvements are finished next year, city officials hope the speed and capacity will be within the top 5% of municipal fiber networks nationwide. The board also approved the purchase of the 13-megawatt natural gas power plant on Fillmore Road. Now, Director Jeff Budd says it's really just a paper transaction that clears up any questions about who actually owns the plant. The facility, also known as Project 4, was originally under the ownership of the Michigan South Central Power Agency, but they wanted it off their balance sheet to eliminate any perceived liability to the member municipalities. Now, the purchase is for the actual debt owed to PNC Bank, and Budd said that the purchase agreement had to be signed before bonds are sold. The MSCPA board was scheduled to meet Friday night to approve that agreement. Waseon residents will avoid a water rate hike for a few more months. The Fulton County Expositor says that last Monday, the City Council held their third reading of the ordinance that would increase the rate, but they unanimously agreed to change the starting date from June 1st to August 1st. Council member Harold Stickley joined his colleagues, saying that a lot of people are out of work right now and the city needed to give them time to get back to work before their rates go up. Public Service Director Keith Torbett said that he understood why the council decided to delay the increase, but it is necessary to cover costs. He added that he hopes that the industry will rebound so that the city won't have to consider an even larger increase down the road. The City of Hillsdale is taking a little bit more time than first expected to consider their new budget. The Hillsdale Daily News reports that City Manager David Mackey and the City Council agreed last week to postpone a public hearing on the budget until a special meeting on May 26th. It was originally scheduled for the 18th, but Mackey said that he wanted to give the council a few meetings to discuss the details. Mackey previously stated that the city was considering a reduction of up to 30% due to the project revenue losses from the coronavirus pandemic. Now, those cuts would affect the Recreation Department, Dial-A-Ride, Library, and the Board of Public Utilities. Mackey said that a number of big-ticket items could be affected, but those decisions have not been yet made. And most anticipated among them is likely the reconstruction of Fayette Street through the north side of the city. The budget for that project was $500,000, but the bids came in almost $250,000 over that mark. The city is currently exploring its options to bring down the cost, but if necessary, additional funding would come from road funds. the Capital Improvement Fund and money from the 3 mills previously allocated for road improvements. A 4th full-time firefighter is also in the budget, as well as a chip and seal work on other city streets, reconstruction of the city's waste transfer station, and a leaf collection machine. A local lawmaker is in some hot water over a face mask he wore under the Capitol Dome in Lansing this week. According to WLNS, Republican State Senator Dale Zorn of Ida, who represents Lenawee and Monroe counties, was spotted wearing this mask while voting on measures to curb Governor Gretchen Whitmer's executive powers on Friday. The mask apparently displays a design of a battle flag for the Army of Northern Virginia, commonly known as the Confederate flag. But when asked about it on Friday, Zorn claimed it wasn't the Confederate flag. He told WLNS that his wife made it for him, saying it was supposed to resemble either the flag of Kentucky or Tennessee. But as you can see here, the designs of those flags bear very little, if any, resemblance to the mask. In that first interview, Zorn said that even if it had been on a Confederate flag, it's part of our national history and shouldn't just be thrown away. Adding that we should be teaching about the atrocities that happened during the Civil War. The children should learn what the Confederate flag stood for. He also admitted that he knew that the mask would, quote, raise some eyebrows. But after receiving national media attention, Zorn apologized for the design on Saturday. While not directly admitting that it was, in fact, the Confederate flag, Zorn said in the statement, "I'm sorry for my choice of pattern on the face mask I wore yesterday on the Senate floor. I did not intend to offend anybody. However, I realize that I did, and for that, I'm sorry. Those who know me best know that I do not support the things this pattern represents. My actions were an error in judgment for which there are no excuses, and I will learn from this episode." The incident has drawn scorn from politicians and voters from all points of view. According to the Detroit Free Press, Senate Minority Leader Jim Anarich of Flint said that he was at a loss for words, pointing out that when Zorn was initially called out for the design, he didn't seem to understand or acknowledge the problem. Amber McCann, a spokesperson for the Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey, said that the Clark Lake Republican would not support or encourage any senator to display an insensitive symbol on the Senate floor. And according to the Washington Post, Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, Michigan's first black lieutenant governor, called Zorn's mask appalling and disgusting, and noted that the Confederate flags and swastikas that were on the display at the previous week's Operation Gridlock protest in Lansing. Gilchrist told MSNBC's on Sunday that those symbols are proved a demonstration was not a protest of the state's stay-at-home order, but was about politics and partisanship, calling it, quote, a Trump rally. Leading up to our broadcast today, a Change.org petition calling for Zorn to immediately resign had 668 signatures. Well, after the break, Adrian's first recreational marijuana shops are open for business. And the news at noon. We'll be right back.
El Cerrito's variety-packed menu has something for everyone. With generous servings and lots of flavor, you'll think of it as a fiesta for your taste buds. Dine in or carry out at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
The Saucy Dogs is the name and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Well, it's official. Recreational marijuana is available for purchase in Adrian. The Telegram says North Coast Provisions and Amazing Buds both open with curbside service on Friday morning. Officials from both businesses, which also offer medical marijuana, says there was no massive rush, but some customers did wait outside until opening, and the owners expected the traffic to pick up over the weekend. They'll soon face some competition. Highwire Farms, Loom Cannabis Company, and Heads Cannabis are all slated to open soon as well. Well, those are the top stories this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. You'll see you right back tomorrow for HTV1 News at noon. Don't forget, you can find more of our live news and broadcast right here, stream 24/7 at HTV1.net. For all of us here at HTV1, I'm Scott Pienta. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Have a great day.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everyone, it's Brett Boyd from the Market House, where we have adjusted our hours to serve the community and keep our community and our associates safe. So now Market House is available to you from 9 until 6 every single day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with an exclusive shopping hour for seniors from 9 to 10. And don't forget our text shopping service as well, 517-234-2020. Market House is here for you.